What is the boondocking or free camping etiquette say? What is that
What's the magic number?
The magic number. How far is far enough, or how close is too close? I'm going to say... Hi, I'm Tom.
And I'm Cheri.
And we're
EnjoyTheJourney.Life.
How close is too close?
Right. How close is too close?
And we're not talking in an RV park or campground. We're talking out here, free camping or boondocking.
Right. In vast, open nature spaces.
Right. Since we've started doing more of this style of camping, this has come up in several campsites now. And we thought this was a great question to pose to all of you out there, because some of you are far more experienced than we are at it. So that's what this video is about. For all of our RV newbies out there, welcome to our channel. We want to explain a little bit about what is boondocking or free camping out here. And this is basically BLM land, which is Bureau of Land Management, U.S. forestry land, where it's public land.
Yes.
Where we're allowed to camp, 14 days and sometimes longer.
More. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And it costs a big $0.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Is it perfect? Well, maybe not. And this is one of the challenges that we're kind of discovering how to wrestle with.
Yes. Well, we're really new at this, but our first one was just, 4 boondocking spots ago?
Right.
And we really don't know how all this works, and we're just figuring it all out. Well, we went way out in Sedona and found a nice secluded area, and we got back from dinner one night and somebody was camping right next to us.
Really close.
Yes.
I would say they were 30 feet away from us.
It was close.
Right. And as you may have gathered from some of our other videos, we do this boondocking and free camping to kind of have our privacy.
Yep.
And not have to look out your window and see another RV like 10 or 15 feet away.
We leave the RV parks and resorts because we don't want to experience that. We want to be out and look out and see nature.
Right. And this was out on Forest Road 525C in Sedona, off of the main drag, so to speak. A lot of you are very familiar with that. And it wasn't one of those group sites that you see a lot of people camping together. Mm-hmm. It was, one of those ones where that you could have put a couple campers in there max.
Right.
And that's what happened with this. When this, it was a pop-up camper that joined us again when we were gone. And he never came over and talked to us. And kind of was, would you call him standoffish? I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah, it was almost like to a point of awkward. It was just unusual.
Obviously, in an RV park or established campground, you don't really have a say in how close you can be. Sometimes you're very, very close where you can reach out and touch another camper. And sometimes there's good space.
Yes.
It just depends on the situation. But you're not in control.
Right.
Of that. But out here, when you're totally at choice, what is the boondocking or free camping etiquette say? How close or how far away you should be?
Yeah, well, there are some group sites because some people do like to camp in groups. Or we could have been in a site that had maybe another fire pit and could have been expecting a family member or other friends to come group camp with us. But I feel like they need to be asking before they just pull up and park right next to us.
Right, and it shared the same driveway, so to speak. So to me, that's kind of a dead giveaway that it's the same site.
Yeah.
Well, we learned a couple of solutions that we'll share here shortly, but I want to share one of our next boondocking experiences where we had another camper come really close. It was a car camper, SUV camper.
Yeah.
And they were so close that when they started their fire, their smoke filled the RV.
It filled? Like filled or field? We had to shut the windows because it literally smelled like a campfire inside our RV.
Right.
That's too close.
And that's that happens a lot in RV parks and campgrounds, really, because you don't have a choice. But to me, it seems like you do have a choice.
When you're out in nature,
out here.
I want fresh air coming in my windows.
And that's like a dead giveaway that if the smoke from your neighbor's fire is coming in your RV, you're definitely too close. Because that shouldn't happen if you're like 100 feet or more away.
Yeah.
I would think. And if you can put a number on it, what would you say? 50 feet, 30 feet, 100 feet, several hundred feet? I mean, what would you say?
Right. We want to be respectful for our neighbors. And there are some places where you kind of like, you fill in, but you still keep as much distance as possible until you're filled in and you're closer. Like when we were at the beach, you know, everybody was really spread out, and then you just kind of pick a spot to fill in, but keep your distance.
So you stay as far apart as you can.
Yeah.
But then as it gets busier, you kind of fill in some of those spaces. Like, you can't see it right now, but this Airstream we're looking at, I would say that's a football field.
Yeah.
Away, 100 yards?
Yeah.
Maybe?
And it's a good distance.
Right. We can see them there, but we actually never see them or hear them.
Right.
So to speak. We certainly don't smell their fire.
And we hope they don't hear us right now.
I think they're gone right now exploring. Now, hear us on this. We love meeting new people, and a lot of you out there, which we do all the time, and we love that. It's not about that at all. It's about when we're living.
Yes.
You know, living and enjoying this lifestyle. Yes. We don't want to be on top of each other.
No.
I mean,
everybody likes their privacy.
Right. To a degree, I would say, and I think I put a number on this in another video, I'm guessing that 10 to 20% of campers are social all the time. They do not want to camp alone.
Right.
That would be my guess.
That's a lot. That is a lot of people. I see that a lot, and I think that's awesome.
Totally awesome.
We spend most of our time working.
Right.
So we don't have a lot of social time, but when we do, we love to socialize.
And again, when we run into so many of you, we've ran into dozens of you already this camping season out and about here, which is awesome. And that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the actual living part of RVing.
Yeah.
So the actual campsite. So what are the solutions that we've learned to deal with this? I did a little bit of research, and another blogger out there put out that if it's a small site, they would position one or both of their vehicles to kind of block the entrance to the campsite. And I thought that was a great idea. And actually, we've been doing that when it's possible, and that has made a really, really big difference.
It has.
Now, we wouldn't do that if it was like obviously a site for like 5 campers or something.
Or if it was super busy and there were, we wouldn't block areas to other camping areas. But so far, when we've been out here, it hasn't been that busy.
Right. At most, maybe there's another fire pit, like if you were having friends or a family member that would be staying with you. And like this is a good example right here. There's a fire pit a little ways away, but if another camper came in, they would totally be in our view. Mm-hmm. They'd destroy this view.
Yes.
Right here.
Yeah.
So I think we haven't blocked it off because we can't, because you can basically drive anywhere out here. So we have been crossing our fingers that nobody decides to camp in front of us, because again, we love the view.
We love the view
out here.
Yeah.
And we also discussed after the very first incident in Sedona that it seems like the courtesy would have been for that person to have asked us after we came back, or if we were there, to come over and say, hey,
would you mind?
Right.
May I camp next to you? Because I can see where some people, if you're alone, you could be a single female, you may feel safer camping next to another group of RVers. And I get that, but find the people that want to group camp.
Right. And that leads me to a theory. I recently thought of this very same thing after our more recent experience where it was vehicle or car campers coming really close to us. I did start to think about that it might be that these people don't feel as safe and secure if they're tent camping or in their cars and they don't have as much equipment or a big of indoor space.
Security. Yeah.
Right, that they might purposely be getting as close as they can. And again, I still think you should ask unless you are in this magical distance away, whatever you guys vote.
The magical distance.
What is that?
What's the magic number?
The magic number. How far is far enough, or how close is too close? Again, I'm going to say at least 100 feet, personally. What do you say?
I just don't want to smell their campfire.
And I'm saying 100 feet minimum. To me, I like the 100 yards, the football field.
So that, would you say is 100 yards?
I think that's about a football field.
I think that's decent.
So,
yeah.
That's 300 feet. So that's a lot. So again, we want your vote on this as well.
So we want to know, how do you keep your privacy protected? And do you have any tips for us? Because we're new at this and we're still learning. And if you share your tips below, it also helps other viewers
to learn from your situation as well. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We welcome all of you to watch our channel.
And if you like this video, give it a big hot pink thumbs up. Hope your finger isn't broken like mine. But the hotter pink, the better.
RVs are dangerous.
RVs are dangerous.
Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we will see you in the next video.
And remember, enjoy your journey.
Head for the sun, follow your footsteps, edge of the world, right to your doorstep, home, anywhere you wanna go, beyond the stars.